Hi there. Today we're going to make a super easy like Saturday lunch type thing or maybe a quick dinner. What it is it's chicken thighs. You can use chicken breasts if you want, totally up to you. I just prefer thighs. A little bit of white wine. We're going to have your basic regular poultry seasonings like salt and pepper, thyme, rosemary, and sage. And we're going to make a light cream sauce. Now, when I'm talking about a cream sauce, I mean really light. I mean it's going to have a little bit of wine and a little bit of cream. It's going to be very, very light. Not real heavy because it's too much. So what I'm doing right now is I've cut up all these chicken thighs and I've put them in about a cup of white wine. Now when you're cooking with wine, you want to make sure you don't use sweet wine because it gets a little funky tasting with the heat. So you've got the wine in here, you've got the chicken, chicken's already ready to go. I'm going to take the chicken out and I'm going to put it in a bowl, and then I'm going to use the liquid that's in here, the wine and the chicken juices and everything, and we're going to get the basis to our cream sauce ready in the pan. This is so easy. And if you think about it, whenever you hear cream sauce, you think, oh, it's so fussy and I don't want to make that. Wait till you see how easy this is. So I'm taking all the chicken out, and what we're going to do is I've got wine that's been reducing and cooking with the chicken, so you've got all that amazing flavor and all of the spices already in there. Everything is already ready to go. And this is over low to medium heat. It doesn't need to be really high up. Take all that chicken out. This is about, I would say about 6 chicken thighs. And again, you can use chicken breasts if you want to. And if you want to keep them whole, keep them whole. That's totally up to you. What you're looking for is for them to already be cooked. Okay, now, this is a light cream sauce. So we're going to use just about a teaspoon of flour. Okay, so let's sprinkle in a little bit of flour. And this, again, a super light sauce. So I'm using just about a teaspoon of flour. Just enough to give it a little bit of body when we add a little bit of milk. Now, when I said cream sauce, I just meant that it's going to have a dairy, in it. Now, if you want to use heavy cream, go ahead, feel free. If you don't, this is just regular whole milk. That's all it is. And make sure you scrape up all the bits off of your pan to get those in your sauce as well. Like my whisk, it's actually for a little mixer. So yeah, just anything you got in your fridge, anything you got in your pantry, anything you got handy, that's how you make dinner. Okay, so now we're going to put a little bit of milk, not a whole bunch. I'm thinking maybe a quarter cup. This is a super light sauce. It's not intended to be, this meal is not intended to be swimming in sauce. It's just a little bit of sauce that you can pour over the chicken. I'm going to turn that heat up a little bit so it can thicken. Now, of course, if you want to make more sauce, feel free. All you do is just add a little bit more flour, a little bit more liquid, and you've got some sauce. And over here, by the way, back here in this pan, I've got some really delicious pan-fried potatoes. Those are going to go in the sauce as well. Everything's just going to be really lightly coated. And honestly, that sauce is ready, and that is it. That's all you have to do. And we're going to put this right back into the sauce. And let that chicken get in there. And then next, we're going to put in the potatoes. And these have been frying in the pan for just a little bit, maybe about 30 minutes. Cut them up into bite-sized pieces. And you put enough butter, see, everything's stuck. It happens. And then, just kind of toss everything so it gets a little bit coated. And here's the last thing you're going to do. You're going to put some fresh spinach over the top, a little bit of green in there. And see, it's not really a sauce, it's more just like a coating. It's so good. And again, if you want to put some more wine in there or maybe some more milk, you can, feel free. Okay, so now we're going to put in some spinach. And this spinach is going to really just wilt down to nothing. You could put in this whole container of spinach, and believe me, you would be totally surprised at how easily it completely just melts and disappears into the meal. And just toss that around. I know you're thinking to yourself right now, not gonna happen. Trust me, it's gonna happen. You know what I think I'm gonna do here? I think I'm gonna add just a touch more milk, just a little teeny bit. Okay, let's turn that up. Toss a little bit more. You are going to be so amazed at how so delicious and so quick this is. It took a couple of minutes to cut up the chicken. It took about another 15 minutes to put it in the pan and get it all nice and cooked down. I put a little bit of butter and oil to cook the chicken in. And then about halfway through the cooking process, that's when I put in about a cup of white wine. And remember, you don't want to use sweet wine when you're cooking like this, because it just gets a kind of a little bit of too of a funky flavor. This looks good. And since you've got the potatoes already in here, that's really all you need. You've got a little bit of spinach, a little bit of the chicken. You've got a little bit of the potatoes, and there you go. You have got dinner. Okay, so now that we have dinner all squared away, we're going to do dessert. Now this is a super easy dessert. You might need to go to the store for some of the things, but trust me, go, because they're so good. This is so good. Okay, what you're going to need is, you're going to need prepared pie crust. Doesn't matter what kind of pie crust you get, just get the rollout kind. That way you don't have to make it. It's so much easier. And then you're going to get marzipan. Marzipan comes in a little container that looks like this, and it comes in a roll. When you take it out, it looks like this. Cut off a piece, about an inch thick, and roll it around your hands, warm it up a little bit. Because what you're going to do is, you're going to unroll your pie crust, and you're going to cut them into fourths, like that. And then you're going to take the marzipan. Now, I know that most people, your experience with marzipan is usually that nasty stuff that they put on top of wedding cakes. No. That's fondant, and it's gross. I can't stand it. This is marzipan. It's almond paste, and you put it inside of a fruit pie, you're going to die. It's so good. Okay, so now that you've warmed it up, you flatten it out a little bit. It doesn't need to be perfect, okay? So you flatten it out a little bit, and you put it in the middle of your pie crust. And then, shh, don't tell anybody. These are canned pie fillings. For God's sake, don't make your own pie filling. This is so much easier. If you're going to go all Martha and everything, that's great. Do it on a Saturday. This is like, I need dessert, it's Wednesday, and I got to have something sweet kind of dessert, okay? So we've got cherry, we've got apple. I'm going to use apple because that's the kind I like. You use the kind you like. You're cooking, you're the one that should be making what you want, right? Okay, now you put some of this in here. Oh, by the way, you're going to want to preheat your oven to 350, and you're going to want to spray the daylights out of whatever you're going to put this down on, because this is sugar, and it will burn like crazy, and it will make a colossal mess on your cookie sheet. Okay, now what you need is some water. The only thing you need water for is to seal the edges. You're going to gather the pie crust up in like a top knot. This isn't like an empanada. It basically is an empanada. Sorry. Oh, don't love this stuff. Don't tell anybody. Shh. It's basically an empanada, but inside of a pie crust. Okay. Now you could do this also by making an empanada if you want to, but this is so good. Just seal the edges. Make sure you seal them pretty well. If pie filling seeps out, that's okay. You can clean it up in a minute. And then make another seam up here. And then make another seam up here. and you've got that pie stuff in there, and you've got the marzipan, and wait till you taste these. Oh, they're so, so good. And that's it. Dun-ta-da-da. Everybody's gonna be so impressed, and only you know how easy it was. Okay, so today we learned how to make a fabulous fast meal. And the best thing about this, even though it's a cream sauce, it doesn't have a lot of calories, super easy to do, really, really fast. Remember, if you're gonna use wine when you're cooking, don't use sweet wine. And see, the spinach gets all nice and wilty and everything, and oh, wait till you taste this, it is so good. Oh, okay. You know, it's really chicken's own fault that they taste so good. It's true. Potatoes. So, so yummy. Okay, now, here are our little, they're kind of more French than they are Mexican. And remember, they've got that little disc of marzipan underneath there, and it's just canned pie filling. And it's roll out refrigerator pie crust. Don't tell anybody. Is that what that looks like? Absolutely not. Okay, now some of them burst their seams, but that's because I put a lot of stuff in there. Let's taste. Okay, here's the apple. I'm leaving the cherry ones because my dad's favorite are cherry. And with a little bit of water and powdered sugar, you can make some delicious white frosting. It's just a little glaze over the top. So let's go in with some glaze. These are so good. You are going to be making these all the time, and they're so easy. Okay, glazed and ready to go. So yummy. Look at that, so delicious. You don't have to make pie, just make these. They're so good. Oh, my mouth is watering. Here we go. And the marzipan is all nice and melty at the bottom. Don't go to a bakery, bake at home, just like that.